Hi, uh, my name is Raghavendra, and today we are discussing about the B.Ed course mathematics methodology of the chapters. This is the now I am starting the 10th chapter. It will having almost all, 8 series, means 8 individual videos were done for only 10th chapter. This chapter is 10th unit, tools and techniques of assessment in learning mathematics. So in this regarding, this complete 10th chapter having how many subunits are there? First we have to discuss about the 10 subunits and regard remaining, then we will go for individually brief about the individual subunit. Test, examination, measurement, assessment and evaluation. And second subunit is a continuous comprehension evaluation CCE, educational and assessment, educational evaluation, performance based assessment. These are the three types of performance based assessments we are doing. It's a flexible way of a school based assessment. And third one, what is an assessment framework? In this framework, what are the main things we have to done? It is a purpose of assessment. Second one is a learning indicators. In that learning indicators, assessment of activity, assessment of presentation, assessment of group work, and assessment of collaborative learnings. And then next, in this third one, tools and techniques of assessment, written form, everything is the way have been given. Project work, field trip and field field trips, field diary, laboratory work, interview, oral test, and journal writing. The fourth sub-unit is recording and reporting, measurement of students' achievements, what is a grading system, measurement of process skills, portfolio, and assessment as a role of reflecting process. And last four subunit is assessment of learning students with a special needs. So these are the main subunits of tools and techniques of assessment learning in pedagogy of mathematics. This is a completely entire 10th unit. So now we will go for to discuss independently. So the introduction part of this education is an activity which is undertaken to fulfill the needs of the both individual, that is the children, and the society at the same time. So when the education we discussed, the school in general, classrooms especially or specifically places where many process takes place such as teaching, learning, evaluation, some we have to do in that place. Yes. Then teaching, learning, and evaluation are these are the three interdependent process because we are discussing as a tools and techniques of assessment learning. So what are the assessment tools and techniques? Before assessment assess, we have to discuss about the teaching learning process. Yes, that's why we discuss here teaching, learning, and evaluation are three or interdependent values. And mathematics teacher should take these aspects together to make teaching learning process effective. So every teacher has to be important the things, but especially a mathematics teacher has to think more and more before teaching and learning students how they learn and how we have to evaluate. Because of mathematical calculation, problem solving, everything is there. So logical thinkings are there, so that we have to give the correct exact teaching, so then children have to learn exactly. Then we can easy to evaluate the children. So, what is an evaluation? Evaluation, as we know, it is an integral component of a teaching learning process which comprises objectives, curriculum, and evaluation. These are the three main categories comes in the evaluation. So, when we discuss about children, we have to know what are the objectives we have to take. Means how what are the things we have to complete and fulfill after the completion of a class, and what is the curriculum or what is the concepts or what are the content we have to complete, and how it will be done, and how can we evaluate the things. So moreover, all the three components have a two-way relationship among them, so one vice versa of everyone. Objectives wise to curriculum, curriculum to objectives, likewise curriculum to evaluation, evaluation to curriculum, same as the thing, evaluation to curriculum. objectives and objectives to evaluation. These are the two-way relationship among them, all the things. So simply we can say that one example for that, how these will be having to finalize, how we can understand as a teacher trainee, how we can understand. So on the hand of through evaluation, we come to know for our objective have been achieved, and only those parts of the curriculum get precedence in the eyes of the learner and the teachers both. So when we have to create our objectives and finish our curriculum, these two things we have to keep in our mind. So then we can completely achieve objectives and been achieved, are those are parts of the curriculum get precedence of the learner's point of view and as well as the teacher point of view. If the teacher have the completion of the work curriculum and what is the concepts, but as well as the children also has to know about the what the curriculum and have to learn or not. So which carry weightage of the examination systems. On the other hand, evaluation method will depend on the kinds of objectives and activities taken in the curriculum. So while we teaching a curriculum, we can take some teaching learning methods, materials, some activities, so many things we have to take in the teaching learning process. So when it will be become imperative for us to appreciate this interrelationship and take a holistic view of evaluation. So when curriculum and teaching objectives combine together, the teaching learning process will be successful. The children has to understand everything what the teacher has to be explained. Then whenever we done an evaluation, the children give the responses or feedback to a teacher, so it will be feedbacks will be comes those, then our evaluation will be in a good sound manner. Otherwise the evaluation will be cannot be good in manner, because our teaching objectives and curriculum and objectives both have to be taken apart. Thus, so where it is not considered as a necessary evil to be taken up, but an entity thrown interwoven in every process of teaching learning process. Yes, so shall we discuss this continuous selection of the process in the continuation comprehension evaluation process in the coming classes, because of the already we discussed in the 10th unit syllabus, CC is there. So it will be whatever teaching learning process and assessment objectives curriculum, it will be going every day process. So that's why it will becomes an under continuous comprehension evaluation process. We shall also see that the meaning of test, examination, measurement, assessment, and evaluation separately. Why? Because if we can see all of these five words, it will be give same meaning to us, because a test, examination, measurement, everything, it will be slightly to closely to same thing. But particularly when we have to see each and every term, it have its own individual differences comparing each and every term. So we see the what is the test and what is the examination, and this is the, I think already explained the two-way process of objectives and curriculum and evaluation is a two-way process. Then we go for the test, each examination, measurement and assessment and evaluation definitions of and what are the terminology of understanding. Some of these words are often used more or less synonymously. For example, test, examination, both are the little bit most of the people are saying both are the same. But if both are the same, why we call the two names? Yes. So when we call as the two names, it has a slight different between two things. That's why we'll discuss the test and separately and examination is separately. And all of them seems to related to the process of judgment. Yes, when you can conduct a test or you can take an examination, will be give a final judgment for that one. Yeah. Let us consider one example separately, each of them separately. Then a test and examination are used many times interchangeably, or test is considered as a mini examination. For example, monthly test and annual examination. Test is difference, annual examination is difference. Yes. So monthly wise we can conduct the test, but we can't say is a monthly examination. Yes. But whenever we conduct a whole of a completion of the year, we can say it as a examination. Yes. I think you can understand the things. Monthly test means whenever we taken as a part wise, we can test the children's. After the completion of the course completion, we can examine the children. Yes, that example. But then TET, it is a teacher eligibility test that you will take after the completion of your B.Ed program or admission test. You successfully clear the for getting into a program are also tests which may be strength and imagination cannot be called as a mini examination. A test is a the perform how you are eligible, how your quality, how your performance is to certain level they can give the test. Yes, test will be given some levels, but exam and give the 100% results of the things. Let us take another example for day to day our life. What we have to. So suppose you go to doctor while when we goes to the doctor if you have some fever or some any issues or anything whatever it may be. When we go for to a doctor room, doctor examine you or test you. The doctor see us to examine us, so he can easy to see us to our features, our body, our strength and weakness, or put a hand, take your pulses, how a pulse will be going on, our heartbeat is going on. They can examine the things. Yes, what are the problems are there, what are the defects are there in your body or your face, whatever it be. So after examine, they can write a prescription of a test. I understand. Whenever we go for a doctor, first the doctor can examine me, examine us. Then only they can suggest some test. That is the difference. Certainly, there are two words cannot be used interchangeably, and we say that doctor examine a patient and may prescribe certain test. Got it? I think you are all are face this live example in your life also. This test is a basically a tool. Yes, for example, intelligence test, aptitude test, achievement test, like your blood test, sample, whatever it may be test. And examination is a process. That is the main difference about the test and examination. But we think the test and examination both are the same. But test is a basic some tool to know certain things. But examination is a process of the tests. And measurement is a another term. Another measurement is to know how you long, how length is there, how width is there. Measurement is give some unit numbers. Yes, whenever we find out our length or a walk distance of our home to your college distance, how it will be, we can measure the things by kilometers or distance in by kilometers or whatever it may be things, but it will be depend upon numbers. We can decide it will be a quantity, that's why which is a quantity measured. That is, then another one. Let us now earlier example understand to the two words of examination and test. So based on that one, we can go for the assessment evaluation. These are the another two words. Three words is over. Test is to basical to examination is a process. Measurement is a to know the quantity or units. Yes, understood. Then we when we go for assessment and evaluation, after you getting the test conducted by a laboratory, when your doctor examine and give some prescription of a test, you can give your samples to the lab and getting the reports. Yes, when you are getting the reports from the laboratory or labs, you get a report which contains a measurements as of tested parameters. These measurements having the numerals oblique plus as well as units. Both the things we have. For example, your hemoglobin percentage is so and so. For example, we can take the 16 gm for the deciliter. So here it is the numerals is there and units also there. How it will be in which measurements we are taking. Along with these, there is another column in the report or in your lab test report which assigns certain meaning of these measurements. These measurement is below normal or above normal, etc. So when we think we can say that the report in the right corner we can easy to find out that is greater than or lower than, it will be indicate and which amount of numeral values will be good, so which values are not good. we can say that things. So thus assigning meaning to measurements is called the assessment, which quantitative as well as qualitative, and final conclusion drawn to the several things, it may be conclusions. Finally it may be called as a judgment. So when we can give the conclusion and judgment is called an evaluation. These are the five things. One is a test, it will be basic tool. Examine is a process of the things, and measurement is a numerals, and it is a depend upon a quantity. And assessment, it give the reports where it will be assessed are good or bad things, and final complete all the two together, we can give an evaluation. I think you are understood the things. So let us now see the how assessment and evaluation into classroom situation. When the teacher has to listen, he needs to existing ideas to students. He get learned dialogues, conversations, everything. So it has a concepts, misconception, everything. We can finalize the things which we have to learn only learning gaps. The when the teacher starts a lesson, he needs to know existing ideas, means previous testing, previous knowledge, everything we have to find out that. Then based on the previous knowledge, we can give the students process. So when we have the modified are required to improve performance to the children as a learner and her performance as a teacher, how it will be progressed. Okay, so based on this, we can finalize the things. So at the end of the point, the children has to judgment finalize the evidences that learning teaching learning process has been extent. Make the final assessment. The learner which again has to take and resources some of kind of evaluation. Thus, we see that assessment and evaluation are ongoing process. These are the similarly seamlessly integrated with teaching learning process. A teacher has to make herself aware the learner's learning process and learning product, their performances. Yes, these are the main things of test, as measurement, assessment, everything. Evaluation. These are the five terms of policy. So if we can understand these things, we can go for the next class for the continuation comprehension evaluation. If you like these videos and comments, whatever it may be, if you have feel about this, you can share the things and you can like it is and comment it is. Okay, thank you once again.